Welcome back, viewers. I am planning to do a series of videos on Opensuse, so where we will check out the different desktops of Opensuse. So this will be similar to what we have done for the Endeavour OS. So let us start. First, we will try to focus on only Opensuse Leap, and maybe the Tumbleweed desktop we will cover in some another series. So this will be a specifically Opensuse Leap 15.4 video series where we will be covering the desktops available in the Opensuse Leap. Leap is the stable version of the Opensuse operating system, and Tumbleweed is the rolling release version of the Opensuse. So let us start. I have got one old build from the May 2022, so we will use this build. And after the installation is complete, we will update the desktop and then we will do the review of the desktop. So let us start. So we will not use the express install. So there are options. This is the installer of the Opensuse. So the different options are there for boot from hard disk, installation, upgrade, and more. So in the more, you got the rescue system, you got the boot Linux system, check installation media, do the memory test. If you escape, it will again come back to the main page, and F3, pressing the F3 function F3, it will give you the options for the installer size, text console, video BIOS size. Okay, so let us start the installation. So the installer of Opensuse works in a very different way. It takes a long time, but from the same DVD you can install multiple desktops. So there are no different ISOs for each of the desktop. You have got one DVD which can install all the desktops that are available with Opensuse, all the desktops that are supported by Opensuse. So it takes some time to load the drivers, do the hardware detection before the actual installation can start. So now this is the installation configuration screen. So first the network auto setup is now working. It will install the network interface for us. So this is the license keyboard and license agreement, language keyboard and license agreement that we have to agree to. You can change the layout also from here. So Indian is not available. Later we can do that. Right now let us keep with English US only. Let us click next. Now it will do the system probing. So enabling the online repositories during installation gives access to all software does not fit on the installation media anymore. Additionally, this software repos might contain updated software packages, but this will increase the installation period. So the installation will go almost to 45 to 1 hour, 45 minutes to 1 hour. That is what I observed on my previous installation. So better is we will not activate the online repositories right now. We will just do the installation from the DVD itself, and later on we can activate those online repositories during the update. So first, the default flagship desktop for Opensuse is KDE Plasma. The KDE Plasma implementation of Opensuse is one of the best. If you want to experience the best KDE experience, I can recommend no other operating system. It's only one and only one, KDE Plasma, Opensuse with KDE Plasma, and the next is Kubuntu. Kubuntu is also very good. So Ubuntu with the KDE desktop, that is the Kubuntu, is also second best, but the best of the best KDE Plasma experience is with Opensuse only. So what we will do is we can go with the KDE Plasma first, and then later on I will show you how to change the desktops and how to go through the different desktop, install, uninstall of desktops, just like what we did in the Endeavour OS. So let us start with the KDE Plasma desktop. So this is the automatic partitioning, so we will agree to that. We will have to change zone from USA to Asia and then to Calcutta. Use this password for system and okay. No automatic login. It is unsafe. And there is option for skip user creation. So if you skip the user creation after the first boot, you will have to anyway create the user. This password is too simple. It's warning. Do you really use this password? Yes. So now it is showing you the summary what will be done during the installation. So the patterns. The patterns are the packaging groups that install the groups of packages that are interrelated. So this is the package for the KDE desktop. So this is the pattern for the KDE desktop. You can see here help and support document, minimal base system, enhanced base system, app armor, KDE plasma fire desktop base, KDE applications and plasma fire desktop, YAST base utilities, YAST desktop utilities, YAST user interfaces, software management, multimedia, office software, fonts, X Windows system, games, KDE PIM suite, minimal appliance base. Total size will be around 4.9 GB. So this is one of the biggest installations. So this is the very heavy system, but it is very stable. I can tell you. In fact, the OpenSUSE tumbleweed is more stable than the Leap also. I can vouch for that. It is very very stable. Nothing. It works for years. I use this for many years. Nothing happens to the system when you use the OpenSUSE. Then there is some security packages also. So these are the security packages that will be installed. That is the CPU mitigations, firewall will be enabled, SSH service will be disabled by default, SSH port is also blocked. So you can toggle this on and off. All this on and off, you can toggle all these security settings or the security options. Major Linux security model is App Armor, Policy Kit default, privileges default. The network configuration is also shown here. The default system D target is graphical mode and not the headless or the terminal mode. And here you can check out the hardware detection. So if you have some special hardware, you can use this to make it detect the hardware if some hardware is pending to be detected. So now it is again redetecting all the hardware. So okay, so nothing to change or nothing to do here. We will just say okay and come out of the page or the display or the hardware settings, and now we will have to click on install. Everything is okay. So in booting, do not write. So installer will not modify the MBR of the disk, and if I say write, so now it is okay. It can write to the MBR of the virtual hard disk. Do not write into partition with boot dev VDA2, right? Okay, so we can go back, we can come back again. Okay, so this is the do not write into partition. So the boot code won't be returned to the VDA2, that is the root partition, but it will be returned to the VDA, that is the boot partition. So it will not be returned to the root partition, but you can do that. You can write it to the root partition also. So now I am going to install. So it is just a confirmation. We have to click install. Now the installation starts. Right now it is 10:56 PM on my desktop, and I'm checking it through the mobile also. It is 10:57, so that is 1 minute difference. Now let us see how much time it takes to install the KDE Plasma desktop on OpenSUSE Leap 15.4. It will take minimum half an hour. At very fast speeds also it takes far, because the speed at my location is just around 2 Mbps, not more than that, 1 to 2 Mbps. So it will take minimum half an hour. And other thing is this installer does not have the live desktop. So there is no live desktop. You have to use this for the installation only. So you cannot check out the desktops before you install them, because the ISOs are not separate for each of the desktop with the live boot option. It is a simple installer having all the desktops, and the total size of the installation is around 4.9 GB. So it is a very heavy system but very stable. Okay, so the installation is complete and the system will now reboot. I will stop the video here. In the next video, we will check out the KDE Plasma desktop of Opensuse Leap 15.4. Bye.